I'm doing good, sir.
I'm,
It's a pleasure to be speaking to you again.
Thank you. A pleasure to speak to you.
Yeah, it's been a while since we caught up with you. The first time we talked to you was, I think, 2 years ago when you were doing the Wrath of Khan Q&A and you were touring, and
Right,
we
right.
had we had you on, and you were an all-star hit, and then we got to come out to the show and see you. It was absolutely amazing.
That's wonderful. I'm glad you liked it.
So
Have you heard any of the this album?
I have this morning. I listened to it. The first thing I did when I got up this morning, and I got to tell you, it's a grand slam. It is so soothing and relaxing. It's not funny.
That's wonderful. I'm pleased to hear that. You're as these interviews have gone on, it's the first group of people that have passed judgment on the album, and everybody likes it or loves it, and I'm grateful for that. I just this is the culmination of everything I've done, and these great artists who are accompanying me on these numbers. It's such an honor, and to have had you like it is I'm so grateful.
Well, you know what? You got Brad Paisley, you got Richie Blackmore, you got Steve Cropper. That's like an all-star cast. Um,
It
and
goes on and on, doesn't it?
Yeah, I love Crossroads and I love Smokestack Lightning. They really got to me because and especially now, Bill, because right now we need all the feel good content and all the especially music because music dives deep into music is universal. Yeah, comedy makes you laugh, but the music is gonna go places that the medicine can't right now. And believe me, it is so healing and so
I
soothing.
absolutely agree with you. And on Smokestack Lightning, that's Jeff Baxter, who's
Yes.
the guitarist, and he's worked with everybody. I mean, he's quite an extraordinary individual, Jeff Baxter. Uh, but there's Richie Blackmore, Brad Paisley. The list goes on, and the honor of those people agreeing to do this album is just overwhelming. Some of them, Richie Blackmore for one, have played on other albums of mine, and the fact that they would come back, not thinking what have I done, and move away, that's also honorable. So I'm very grateful to all of them.
Yeah, I'm sure they had a lot of fun. What went into the choosing of who to collaborate with? Was that something, a decision that was in your hands or the producer's hands?
Well, there is an individual who would contact John Lappin is his name, would contact the artist and send him my track and say, would you do something on this? And invariably, they said yes, we'll play, and they played on the. They would put their track on it, put their music on it, accompany my voice, and there were other times when I would uh, speak the lyric to their track. It was a combination of it all, and I just as you say, the album is not only soothing but it's exciting. I put a spell on you is going to be a music video,
Oh, really?
uh,
Wow.
animated. It's going to be an animated video at the same time. The album's coming out, which is October 2nd, and I suggested to the artist that it be a bar, and it's like a rectangle, and there's a bar on the left hand side, and this strange character in a booth on the right hand side. That's me, and at the far end are the musicians, and the barmaid has no idea that this crazy character cackling and laughing to himself is saying, "I put a spell on you," and it's great fun. But the music is there, and the music is sensational. And the lyric is there, and yet the concept of the video is great fun.
And listening to the whole album this morning, um, it was so beautifully produced, and the music and the guitar. But the most important thing overall, Bill, that I noticed is you sound like you were having a ball doing it.
Well, it's true. I mean, you risk your reputation, whatever reputation I had, on something being bad, and they say, oh, people who are judging the material, even if it's judged fairly, they don't like it, and it hurts. If I were talking to you and you said, well, it's all right, and I realize you don't like it, and you're being polite, it hurts. But on this album, invariably, people who listen to it are either enthusiastic or terribly enthusiastic.
Yeah, and you know what a lot of people don't realize? I mean, you've been entertaining us through so many different mediums for so many years, but I mean, you've been doing music since 1968. A lot of people don't realize that, but um, what made you choose the blues album, a blues album to do?
Well, I love the blues. Let's start with that. As I did research with the Cleopatra,
Label.
the label, thanks. The label asked me, "Would you like to do the blues?" And I thought, "Yeah, that's great. I love the blues. I love the lyric of the blues. Do what I'm doing. You need a lyric." I once did a song for the music awards show. One of the songs I did was "I Want to Sex You Up" years ago.
Yes.
And the whole lyric is, I want to sex you up, I want to sex you up, I want to sex you up. And I found myself doing it to a bongo, and the bongo was playing. I'm saying, I want to sex you up. It was kind of out there. What I really need is a great lyric. And blues invariably, if you choose the right song, has a lyric of pain or pleasure or joy, or because not all blues is down.
Right.
Blues can be up there too, but the lyric, "The Thrill Is Gone," B.B. King's song. Oh my God!
Yeah.
So played like an actor, where you realize the love of your life no longer excites you, and now it's time to leave. The thrill is gone.
Yeah.
And
You know
put,
what? It,
put it to music.
the thrill is gone. You know what it reminds me of when you're doing that song? It reminds me of like one of those old Philip Marlowe movies where like he's describing what's going on, but you're actually singing it. Like she walked out the door, baby. It was so cool, and I. No, Bill, I mean that as a sincere compliment. But it was like so,
Yeah.
it was like different, and that's what was unique about it.
Well, good. If it pleases you, that's good. I know what you mean. It was a bad night. It was black and it was raining.
Yeah.
I saw her with her car turned up. Yeah.
But
Yeah. Well,
y-
but this is the music, and it's meant in "The Thrill Is Gone" is meant to indicate how you would feel if the thrill is gone.
right.
I'm sorry, baby, but it's not. What is funny about the lyric in "The Thrill Is Gone" is at the very end it changes, and it says, "I'll follow you for the rest of your life. My thrill is gone, but I will follow you, baby." And the song just absolutely turns to this guy who says, "Yes, the thrill is gone, but now," or maybe he means the thrill is gone from her. She's got. I never thought of that.
Yeah, that's true.
She no longer is thrilled by me. That never occurred to me.
But the amazing thing is that yeah, I've noticed in the past 10 years, a lot of artists are doing a lot of. I think blues has made like a resurgence in the past, maybe not even 5 or 10 years. That it seems that a lot of people, more and more people are putting out blues music. And I tell you right now, we need all the even though like you said, the blues is not just down, it's up, and we need that right now. So I mean, and I got to give you credit, Bill. I don't know how you do it every day. You manage. You show no signs of slowing down. Whether it's putting out an album, a movie, a commercial, a TV show. I don't know how you do it, and God bless you.
Well, I think he did with good health and a sound mind, at least up until now. Up until I talked to you, I had a sound mind.
You know, in our first interview, you were talking about, because we do a lot. The show goes out to all the troops, and I think you were fascinated with my girl Gisela, because you said you had a girlfriend in Canada back in the day named Giselle, and that was like the highlight of her whole year when she had got to talk to you.
Oh wow! Well, that's great.
Yeah.
I'm glad you enjoyed the album. I look forward to talking to you again. It's a pleasure speaking to you.
Absolutely, Bill, and it's going to be released on. It's actually, the label is for everybody that wants to pick it up. It's available for pre-order right now. It's going to be out in October, but the label is Cleopatra Records, and go to their website cleorex.com, and you can pick it up and show your support for Mr. Shatner here.
Wow, you did that for me.
See that?
I haven't done that at all. I should have done that.
No, you know what? I'm a lifer with you, Bill. So anything you do, I'm a big fan of.
What is your musical background?
I don't have a musical background. I do radio, and I'm a comedian. How funny is that?
Well, no. I know more than one who are comedians and do radio, or do radio and are comedians. Which do you prefer?
Well, comedy's always going to be my love. I go back to Abbott and Costello. Was like growing up on TV, watching them, and that's pretty much what got me started.
Well, they were the funniest.
But I have a face for radio, so I'm not as photogenic like you in front of the camera. So I got to stay on radio. But can I ask you one quick question, Bill? I don't mean to take up too much of your time, but I was very fascinated about. When we were talking to you during your Q&A with the Rathacon, you were talking. You do this event every year, and it was like something that could help. It was like a therapeutic thing with horses.
Yeah. What's your question?
I just wanted to put that out there again, because we have a lot of men and women who suffer from PTSD, and I would love to maybe see it just broaden their awareness.
I run a charity every year called the Hollywood Charity Horse Show, and I've been doing it more than 30 years, and we raise $400,000-$500,000 a year, not great sums, but over 30 years it amounts to millions of dollars, and all that money goes to help veterans and children.
Yes.
And many of the charities we give the money to are horse therapeutic people. The horses, for a variety of reasons, are beneficial to everybody for everything. But if you're a child who's afraid, or you're a veteran suffering from PS syndrome, the ability to get on a horse and relax and not be threatened and to be in control seems to soothe the savage breast in the child or in the veteran. And so Hollywood Charity Horse Show, horseshow.org is the name of the horse show. We will not be on this year because of the COVID, but we'll take funds and distribute them to these great charities.
That's amazing. And now, personally, Bill, how are you? Because you're a guy that doesn't slow down. You're always involved in something. How have you been handling, with the downtime with the COVID-19?
Well, let me tell you what I tell my kids. This is a moment in time. This will never happen again in your lifetime. Right. You have a moment, whether you're working or you're not working, you have a moment to focus on something that's individual, whether it's your toenail or a subject or a child or an old person or your loved one. This is a moment you can focus. You have a while. a while. Maybe it's weeks, maybe it's months, but it's going to be limited. And then you'll be back to the hurly-burly. Why not take this time, this moment, and look into the minutia of what it is that interests you? Mm-hmm. Look into it completely, because you have the time.
Right. You don't have to, you can't procrastinate anymore. But
that too.
Yeah. But Bill, thanks so much. And as always, God bless. Stay safe. Thank you for doing what you do. And like I said, everybody who's listening, especially all our servicemen and women who listen to us via American Forces Network, the album is William Shatner, The Blues. All right. It's coming out in October, but you can pre-order it now via Cleopatra Records. You can go to www.cleorex.com and pick up a copy, and you listen to the man, the myth, the legend himself.
Thank you so much. A pleasure, and we'll talk soon again.
Thank you so much, Bill. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, everybody. That was William Shatner, legend, and it's always fun catching up with him. The only thing bad about the interview, doing an interview with William Shatner, it's never long enough because there's so much stuff you want to get into. But, this album is what he wants to focus on. Everybody wants to talk about, obviously, Star Trek, but which, hey, is great. But you know what? Got to stick to the task at hand. But I want to thank everybody for hanging with me today. I know it wasn't a long session, but, when you get to speak to someone like Bill Shatner, the opportunity doesn't arise very often. So when you do, you got to take advantage of it. But I will be taking tomorrow night. We have one other interview, and unless something else comes up from the myriad of emails that I sent out for celebrities, I'm going to be taking a few days off. But tomorrow night, 7:00, we have Antonio Sabato Jr. back on. He's a good friend of the show, and Steve Keller will be with Kirk Fletcher tonight, who's a blues artist and who's actually was collaborating on William Shatner's album. So we look forward to Steve doing that tonight. And once again, I got to thank you all for your continued support and your patronage, and it's more than I can ask for. And we'll see you all again right here next time on Animal House Radio. Have a good day.